AutoWeb. Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
AutoWeb.
Hey everybody, this is Sean B. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group with 19,200 members, okay, and then about 100,000 affiliates out in the universe. And we are now live in the Millionaire Car Salesman Club on Clubhouse. And I have a very special guest, man. I got the one and only Tim Cox. He is the, co-founder of one of the hottest companies in the automotive industry with thousands of clients, and that is Car Now. And my man, Tim, I love the subject. You said the phrase, experience is the new brand. Out-experience competition. Okay, so explain to us, jump right into it, brother. What does that mean right there?
So first of all, I have to give my friend David Kane props. He came on my podcast and he said that. So, with everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people out there take little one-liners that I use, and then they so I like to give credit where credit's due. So anyway, experience is the new brand is very simple. In the world of Vroom, Carvana, CarMax for the last 15 or so years, understand that Carvana's not selling cars. Vroom is not selling cars. They're selling an experience. In fact, they are lying in their marketing. You cannot buy a car 100% online. Can't do it. Person shows up at your house or your place of work. They have the flatbed, a notary. They have a notary in there. Most states, although a lot of states did relieve the wet signatures, most states you cannot sign tag and title paperwork online. So therefore, what are they saying? They're saying, we're going to do it better than the dealership, and we're going to sell you an experience. So when we say, and when David Kane said that several months ago, experience is the new brand, there are dealerships that are concentrating on their experience. Meaning, and a lot of dealers and a lot of salespeople say all the time, well, why? And I know you know this. Why should people, buy from your dealership? Well, it's our culture. Well, it's the way we take care of your customers. But then you go there, you treat it like everybody else, right? It's truly going the extra mile to make sure that your digital experience is the same and even better. That way, you brand that experience and then come into the dealership and give that customer such an experience, they become raving fans, as our friend Jonathan Dawson says. I'm giving everybody props for using their little tagliners. They become raving fans, and you don't have to. Perfect example. My pastor at my church, an hour away, he needed a Toyota. I called one of my Toyota dealers. He had such an experience. 3 people in a month went back and bought a car. Why? Because people expect to have a bad experience. Driving Sales says 99% of every car shopper expects to have a bad experience. When we set the tone, we break those walls down. And I would encourage anyone, and we can unpack a lot of things, but at my Lexus store right down the street, as we're here in Atlanta, I'd have roughly, depending on the campaign I was running, anywhere from 18,000 to 22,000 unique visitors, but yet I only had 600 or 700 people walk in my front door every month. There's a lot more of that. So that's why it's so important to brand your experience online and then make sure that you create a team inside that's giving those customers that type of experience. And then they become raving fans, and you don't have to spend as much, you know what I mean? Because they're telling everybody that, wow, I just had an amazing experience at ABC Toyota.
Again, very, very powerful. See, at Dealer Synergy, this is one of the things that we focus on is the value package proposition. The top 7 reasons why people are going online, Tim, or the top 7 reasons why people are calling as a phone up are price, availability, convenience. I hate car salesmen. Another way of saying that is I'm looking for a different way to do business. research, trade, and credit. Again, price, availability, convenience. I hate car salesmen, research, trade, and credit. Now, with the pandemic, it's safety. And I don't mean side crash beams. I'm talking about COVID. You know, is your dealership safe? Are you sanitizing? Do you have COVID protocols? And if you choose to take delivery, have somebody deliver the vehicle to your home or office, they want to know that you're not delivering like Domino's Pizza COVID to their house. So again, I would concur. It is very, very important to be able to, articulate what is different and better. And to your point, what most people do is they say the same damn thing that everybody else says. So they say, we're family owned and operated. We're number one. We've got a great service department. Exactly. But here's the thing though, Tim, let's go into it deeper to your whole thing. It says experience is the new brand. Out-experience the competition. I freaking love when you say that. I really do. And to me, when I hear that, okay, again, experience is the new brand, out-experience the competition. What I need to do is exceed, the prospect's expectations. But here's the problem. You can't exceed something unless two things happen first. First, you need to qualify what somebody's true wants, wishes, and expectations are. And this doesn't happen. NADA says the number one reason why people don't buy cars in the United States, as per NADA, survey says because they're landed on the wrong car. How can we exceed something if we don't even do a proper job of qualifying them? Now, let's just say that we do thoroughly qualify them. We identify their wants, wishes, expectations. The next thing is you have to meet them. Okay, so there's two things that have to happen. The prerequisites. If you even have the opportunity to exceed, first you need to have thoroughly qualified and identified their wants, wishes, expectations. Second, you need to have met them. And then and only then do you have the opportunity to exceed them. And if you exceed them, then man, game on. So Tim, based on what I just said, like what's your thoughts on that?
Look, you and I were having a discussion before this call, and it's very difficult to tell someone in this state what we've gone through and teach them how, or say you need to try this lure or that lure, and teach them how to fish when fish are jumping in the boat. So that is the first thing. But what we are seeing when we provide these experiences, and I've got so many, as a lot of people like me that work with dealers day in, day out, whether it's in Maine or Southern California, we have a color by number per se. If you do this, and this, we are seeing, and people don't, let me give you a study that one of my heroes, Chip Perry. I've never ever heard anybody say anything bad about Chip Perry, but one of my heroes, Chip Perry, when he was still at TrueCar, gave, and then my other buddy, when he was at Urban Science, did the exact same study, same questions. So total of about, and if memory serves, I'm sorry, I think 3,500 to 4,000 people were surveyed that were actually in the process of buying a car. So they were looking, they hadn't picked out it, but they're buying a car. Those people were asked, and this study is 15 months old, pre-COVID. They were asked several questions. They said, if you knew you were going to have a bad experience versus you knew, based on the reputation of the dealership, that you were going to have a good experience, two questions. How much farther would you drive? This is TrueCar and Urban Science study, not mine. How much farther would you drive? How much more would you pay? 89% of customers surveyed, over 3,000, said, you know what? 89% said I would drive up to 30 minutes further if I knew I was past my local dealership, if I knew I was going to have a good experience. 56, if memory serves, 56 or 56, 56% of consumers said I would even pay up to $1,000 more if I knew. Now, listen, I know what you're going to say, because I are a car guy. I have been a car guy since the year of our Lord, 1989. Yes, 1989. I'm an old man. I'm going to be 50 this year. Lord's will and the creek don't rise, as we say in Kentucky. But I'm telling you that when you give those types of, and we can break down some examples of those, of what that looks like, but when you create that, PVR is up. And the reason I know this, I talk about some of our competitors. Joe Chura is a dear friend at cars.com, and obviously Dealer Inspire has several products that do what we do. But when I gave this data, a lot of people a lot of times people fire that data out of their mouth and you're like, yeah, did you just make that up? Most percentages are made up on that. So when we gave this data, then Darren Haygood gave the same data. So we are seeing that when this experience and people are starting online and at least getting the minutia done, anywhere from 200 to 400 higher PVR, and a 24% increase in F&I products when you just do a simple subsource on those leads coming through that. And then obviously the same experience or better experience when they finally get to your store. Because I'm going to leave you with this and then we'll open it up for some questions. I want you to think about something. Let's look. Everybody talks about Amazon. Screw Amazon for a second. Let's talk about Apple. Does Apple care if you go inside the store or if you buy online? Nope. What is the experience? Have you been to an Apple store lately that the malls are starting to open back up and the line is wrapped around the building? They want to get there. Why? So what I'm saying is don't be scared of tools. Utilize them. We can talk about best practices and take questions, but utilize them to enhance the experience. Now, those leads, instead of what's your name, in BDCs of days of old, we look at our transcript. What's your name? What's your number? When can you come in? My manager's not here right now. Or here's the big one.
Can you give me your phone number just in case we get disconnected, and I'll get right back with you.
Screw you, man. We've been doing that for 30 years. Hey, listen, Mr. Customer. As a matter of fact, I have a beautiful video, sending video, 63. You talk about enhancing an experience. I'm going to preach now. Sean, you did it. You put me on the air. It's getting ready to roll right now.
Let's go. Bring it, baby.
I'm telling you. So when Google says no one should give two flips about what Tim Cox says. I'm just bringing to you what's happening. Google says if you send a video to a customer, the customer is 63% more likely to go to the dealership that sent them the video. Why don't your phone calls look like this? You talk about creating an experience instead of what's your name, what's your number, everybody. Well, I know. Well, Buford, I'm from Kentucky. Well, Buford and Billy Bob they were showing that F-150 and you hear the paper rattle in the background. I think that might be sold, instead of saying, hey, listen, as a matter of fact, I have that. You're telling me to shut up?
No. Keep going.
I have that vehicle in stock. Do I have your permission to go ahead, and I'm showing this your cell phone number. Obviously, we have to be TCPA compliant. Let me go ahead and shoot that video over to you. Have you just set the tone? It's phenomenal.
Tim, I had it muted by accident. I apologize. I got excited clapping and stuff, man. So let me just reset the room really quick because we're killing it. So everybody, this is Sean B. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group, podcast, and club on Clubhouse. And I got to tell you right now, I am interviewing Tim Cox, who is one of the most respected thought leaders in the automotive industry. He is the co-founder of one of the hottest technology companies in the entire automotive industry, Car Now. They got this sick, amazing product called Buy Now. The dude is a beast. And Tim, you have over 2,000 multi-million-dollar businesses that are your clients. And today he's like, look, experience is the new brand. Okay, don't try to outsell the competition, out-experience the competition. And right now he was just taking us to church. Finish your thought, and then we're going to open up to questions because a lot of people want to jump in this. I got a great panel that here in Clubhouse. This is a pop-up Clubhouse too.
And I have it right here. I just have it muted so we don't have any reverb. My buddy Damien Bordeaux, who I'm going to be the leader of his fan club. But other than that, and you're selling our Car Now team short. We have 4,500 dealer partners.
Oh, sorry, 4,500.
Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. So,
yo, hold on. He just said 4,500. Okay, and that's basically saying, "Oh, listen, you've got a BMW." He's like, "No, bitch, I got a Ferrari. Don't get it."
No. I don't have anything. That's the first. When you work at Car Now, the first thing you do is you take "I" out of the vocabulary. It's we, and quite frankly, we're not allowed to say "I." It's our team. It's El Familia. It's a family. The good, bad, and the ugly, and we serve. And here's another thing, which is a whole other topic. We have 200 plus Car Now family members, not employees, and I serve them. That's the only way we're allowed to say I. I serve them. I work for them. My partners and I work for them, pour into them, love on them to create such an environment. Enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm, ladies and gentlemen, to where if I'm serving them, then they're going to go serve our dealers. They're going to go love our dealers. That's why you go, amen, we're getting ready to preach. I'm just telling you, that's why if you go to driving sales right now and look at all the customer reviews, tech is tech. But when you say, hey, Holly Ann did this for me. Karen did this for me. I couldn't believe, it was during COVID and it was 1:30 in the morning on East Coast time, and they sat down and they that's serving, man. That we can go off on a whole other deal right there on how to love on people. But anyway, I just had to correct you there.
I stand corrected. And you know what's, Tim, real quick, as a Covey trainer, everything I've heard you say, it personifies interdependence and synergy. Interdependence is the strongest part of the maturity continuum. This is what all businesses strive for, is to be able to be truly interdependent. Instead of it being about I or me, it's about us and we. So let's get back into the topic at hand. Can you finish up so we can, you had a powerful statement that you were talking about, basically explaining the whole concept of experience is the new brand, out-experience the competition, don't try to outsell the competition.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
At the very first Dealer eProcess keynote, Gino Ciparroni and Sam Vukas introduced new tools and strategies to drive conversion, new designs to increase customer engagement, and new technologies to dominate the competition. Visit dealereprocess.com/keynote to watch and see what's new in 2021.
Yeah, and start online, okay? Because the majority of customers are going to start online. So what kind of experience, the disconnect, the dealers that are using our tool or any other tool, let me throw some facts. There's one of the big three, I'm not allowed to say which one of the big three that we're very close to. Pre-COVID was 9% of their dealer body was using some type of DR tool. Now it's 92%. Of that 92%, that represents 98% of the entire big three volume. That doesn't mean that they're utilizing and giving good experience. That just means that 92% of their dealers have a widget on their website. What I mean by creating that experience is on your website, talk about the ease of, there's got to be a why by, the ease of branding your experience. You've got to brand your experience. And then when they go into the dealership, it has to be. Now, you're not going into the dealership with just a name and a phone number. Now you know what the customer's credit is, probably. You know what their trade is. You know the last 4 cars they clicked on, and you know where they want to be payment-wise. And they're walking in the door, so we're saving time. So that's why we're seeing higher PVR on the front and back of the store, because the dealers, you talk about experience, the dealers that get it, the dealers that are in the car and they're on the way to this path of providing a good experience, that's the ones that are, not only are they selling more cars, because remember we said earlier, at my Lexus store, 18, 20, sometimes 22,000 uniques, only 500 or 600-ish would come into my front door. I've got a lot more of that. So when we grasp that, okay, and create that, and then I would encourage, because we are never, I don't care how good Tim Cox's company is, or anybody's company, or even Sean Bradley, you very seldom, if ever, get 100% buy-in. We're going to have that guy.
Tim, you're popping the audio because we're excited. So I don't know if it's your microphone or you're as excited as I am, but it's popping on.
I think. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Okay, I just turned off Clubhouse. So what I'm saying is, whether that's a OTT. Okay, we don't have to get deep into marketing right now. Whether that customer sees a commercial, talks about how easy it is to buy a car at your store, whether that, then they go into and then we create that experience. Then they go to your website and then they see the same logo. They click that. Then they go into your dealership and then they see a static of that same logo on there. But the key is to make sure. What are you showing me?
I'm just showing you that your room's filling up in the club. Okay. People are loving what you're saying, brother.
What I'm saying is the key is to create a special forces team inside your dealership. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. This is big boy and big girl time. Let's put our pants on the right way. We're not going to get 100% buy-in. So you create those teams that exclusively take care of those customers. Perfect example is Brian Kramer. Brian Kramer has been on Clubhouse. He's all over Clubhouse. He talks about my friend Scott Joseph, who I'm going to see tomorrow in Louisville with a couple other of our dealer partners. He had him on a podcast, and he had a salesman that he promoted to F&I. I'll say this, and it'll be real quick. Promoted to F&I, did not like F&I. He was going to leave. Brian pulled him aside because he was a visionary, and he said, you know what? I want to put you in charge. Here's this computer. everybody that comes through this tool, I want you to stop, interact. He was sending Zoom meetings at the time, do them in your presentation. The kid's averaging 1,000 on cash deals, and he's averaging 2,000 on finance deals, and these are online only deals. So when we get focused on where we want to go, I say it every time. I apologize if people hear it over and over and over again, is your direction determines your destination, not your intention. So we can have the best intentions on where we're going to go. And I saw that David Long jumped in this room. David Long and his team, he's got direction on where he's going to go. It's a life hack. I am physically, spiritually, financially where I am right now because of decisions that I made months, if not years ago. Our dealerships they are selling the amount of cars right now because of decisions, whether they're marketing, personnel, whatever, they're all decisions that they have made. They are now reaping the fruit or suffering the famine from decisions that they have made previously. What we've got to do is leadership in this country, in our dealerships, have got to say, listen, lead, follow, or find something else to do. This is our vision. We're going to love on our people. We're going to love on our people so much that they're going to feel it. People used to come in our Lexus dealership and say, wow, something is different. You guys are laughing. And I was in the last store and you could cut the tension with it. We create those types of experiences to where we love on that customer. We truly give them the process all the way through, and we can talk about steps later. That's when we're selling more cars, and that's what we're talking about experience.
Two things, Tim. One is jump back on Clubhouse, because if you're a moderator, your people will come into the room to hear you speak. It's not the Clubhouse thing. I think when you're getting excited, I don't know if your speakers on your computer are.
I have a microphone, which
that's what it is. That I didn't even notice that. It's the microphone that's brushing. That's what's doing it. It's 100%. It's the microphone.
So let me try this. Okay, now that's not going to move.
Much better. There you go. So I would jump back in as a moderator. Now, what we're going to do is this, folks. I'm going to open it up. First of all, there's a bunch of comments in the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook right now. If you're getting value, what I want you to be able to do if you're in the Facebook group and we're live streaming is just type the word in value right there in the comments to know that we are, that you guys are getting a lot out of what Tim Cox is saying. And if you have any questions, start to type them in the Millionaire Car Salesman group. If you've got any questions here, just raise your hand and I'll bring you to the stage. I'm going to reset the room and then I'm going to open it up to my panel to start going across. Again, this is Sean V. Bradley. I'm the president of Dealer Synergy, the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, and I have a absolute rock star in the automotive industry, Mr. Tim Cox. His company that he co-founded is Car Now, and they have 4,500 rooftop clients, which is a mega company. And I love this subject, and apparently a lot of you do too, because the room's filling up. It's experience is the new brand. Don't try to outsell the competition, out-experience the competition. Karina, my wife, I don't know if you're able to speak, but Tim mentioned about Amazon. Karina, are you there?
I am.
Okay, can you share? We were just in the office yesterday. Can you share your experience with Amazon? What happened and what did you say? How ironic that Tim brought this up.
Yeah, so yesterday, Sean was having problems with his Yeti mic, and he asked me to reach out to Amazon, and I kind of put it off for a couple weeks because I was like, I got to reach out to this major company. It's probably going to take forever. They're going to make me do all these things, and I don't have time for all that right now. So yesterday I finally had an opportunity. I went into the order. I just clicked on get support. As soon as I hit get support, it gave me the ability to either get a phone call or chat with someone. So I said, phone call. I guess they'll probably contact me at some point today. As soon as I submitted Sean's cell phone number, the phone rang. Not only did it ring, but the gentleman on the other end already knew exactly what the product was, ways to fix it. I said to Sean, how can this company be so huge and create and provide such an amazing experience, yet, smaller companies or people that don't have as many customers cannot provide this type of experience. So I was extremely blown away.
So it goes to Tim, what you were saying again. Amazon is providing this amazing experience. That microphone was the Yeti Professional. It was like a $590 microphone, and I think I paid stupid tax when I got it, before the holidays, because everybody's buying mics because everybody's doing podcasts with COVID, and so it was more because I didn't buy it from Yeti. I bought it from a third party provider, and it was just so convenient that Amazon, within minutes, they solved the problem. And Karina, by the way, the email's in there. We just got to send it out. It was so amazing that why would we go through a different company when they make it so convenient?
Flawless. It really was.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to open it up to the room to ask questions. So if you're on the panel right now, if you're on stage, just open up your mic and just ask, a question or add a statement to the concept of, experience as your new brand. Nobody. I hear somebody opening.
Sean, one thing I was going to say, it's Karina. One thing that I was going to mention earlier, I loved when Tim had mentioned, I was thinking the same exact thing, that experience is what has been keeping customers away from the dealership environment. So to be able to create that positive experience, one dealership at a time, we hopefully one day can change the whole car buying experience stigma that's unfortunately out there.
Absolutely. Damien Bourgeois is like a really good friend of, and I'm gonna fight Tim for the president of his fan club, so L.A. He's an amazing person. He always talks about relationship selling. Damien, if you're able to speak, what do you think about what Tim is saying about experience is the new brand?
First I get on here and I see your little circle around your thing, and the voice that's talking ain't you. And I'm wondering, who the hell is that talking? They don't sound like, and Tim, you got to come out from behind the shadows, brother, because I'm sitting there tapping on the little thing, not knowing it's you. Now, once I knew it was you, I was like, well, no wonder it's him. He talks that good, and I love what you say, and I'm in your fan club as well. But I will tell you, I love the thing of the out-experience your competition, but you have to let your employees use their experience. And before they ever came to work for them, you hired them because they had the experience of being a good person. They had 20 years experience of being a good brother or a good sister. They had 20 years experience of living a life that they were trying to improve themselves. They had 20 years experience of being alive on this planet, trying to figure it out to get another level. So taking the experience, the great experience, the good experience of who you hire, to bring it to the out experiencing and making it flow and making it customer friendly and making it work for your employees and being in integrity so that everybody can be comfortable and not have to apologize for mistreating people. I think I love it from the experiences part and from the experience of your team's part. And so I love this conversation. And of course, Tim, I didn't know it was you talking. Once I learned it, I was like, well, no shit. Of course he's impressive.
Damien, how do you think I felt? I heard the voice coming from Sean's thing, and I'm like, what? Who is that? That's not my husband.
Well, no, because guys, I'm live streaming in the Millionaire Car Salesman group right now. And live streaming in the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook, there's a bunch of people listening and commenting, and so if Tim, he gets reverb. It's not good to be in Clubhouse and on Facebook, for the guests. So that's the only reason why he's operating out of my microphone. But I love it. I just brought Cameron Moore from Build a Brand onto the stage. Cameron, how important is it to make experience the new brand and make experience just like blow people's minds?
I think it's very important. Obviously, I was on your live chat on Facebook, typing, but differentiating yourself from everyone else is the biggest part. Really.
You broke up.
And be consistent with it. So, I think it's super critical. That's something that I really focused on when I was selling cars, and definitely focus on with Build a Brand.
Okay, I love it. You broke up a little bit there, Cameron. Can you just repeat that sentence one more time?
Which, just everything I said?
Yeah, just recap that real quick.
Okay. No, I was just saying it's very important to build an experience because you got to differentiate yourself from everyone else. You have to really do what no one else is doing, and it's something that I really focused on when I was selling cars, and that I really focused on with Build a Brand is building an experience that no one else is providing that makes people want to talk about you. And because it's easy for people to talk about a bad experience. Like everyone will say when something's bad, but it's very hard to get someone to talk about something that's good. And so if you can do that, I think you're going to end up winning.
So Cody, let's go to Cody. Again, to be able to be a high-performing salesperson that sells 118 units last month on the showroom floor at a Toyota dealership, you've got to be creating a unique experience. So what do you think about Tim's perspective about, experience as the new brand? Cody Carter. And I just lost him. He's on the floor. All right, so he might have had to jump in and jump out. So let's just keep it moving. Anybody else on stage right now would like to add to what Tim is talking about experience as a new brand? I know we have a dealer principal right here, Jesse Yarman. Jesse, are you able to jump in?
Hey, Sean.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. So what's your thoughts about experience as the new brand?
So first, I just want to say this conversation is awesome because I do believe it is the number one thing that us as car people need to be doing. I liked what Karina was saying about Amazon, and it blows my mind that it's that simple for them to take care of you in that immediately fast response. My team is on here listening too, and we try hard, and you don't get many chances. And that one person that you let kind of fall through the cracks, that's what it bites us. But I do really like kind of what everybody's saying, and I think it's just very important all around. We try to do the best we can, try to do unique things, sending video messages to different people, just all around trying to do different things to build a great experience. And
I want to also add this. You're a smaller Ford dealership. I mean, you're in Minnesota, and you are not part of a large dealer group, like a $50 billion group like Lithia or something like that. You are, you own a single point Ford dealership, a small one. So it is system critical for, independent dealerships and single point stores, especially, to be able to not only to compete, but to dominate. You can't outspend Lithia. You can't out resource a dealer group with 15 stores. But what you can do is outclass them. You could outperform them with your experience. Tim, would you agree with that?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Attention auto dealers, you need an opportunity to do business. AutoWeb is one of the largest suppliers of high quality leads. High quality buyers. At a 10% closing ratio, you will be at less than $190 per car sold. Don't just settle for what you get. AutoWeb can fully customize your results through targeted markets and/or zip codes, and as a partner, you will get premium placement within search results. Who better to do that than literally the people that invented automotive internet sales? If you want to sell more cars more often and more profitably, then you need AutoWeb.
No, 100%. We need to understand, and I like looking, I always tell my team ad nauseum, and maybe people that have been listening to me ad nauseum, facts eliminate feelings. Take them out of the equation. Facts eliminate feelings. And we were talking before this, and I hate to even give them breath, but we need to learn from them. But the Carvanas of the world, the Vrooms of the world, the CarMaxes of the world, their success, they are not selling cars. They are selling experience. They are selling, electroshock therapy in the dealership that really got me fired up at the Super Bowl. That is what they are selling. And, Vroom doesn't sponsor your kid's baseball team. And quite frankly, I would argue, we say, nobody cares, but involvement in the community being, there was a time, and I still believe that our dealers, Hometown Dealer USA is the very undergirded foundation of a lot of smaller and mid-sized towns in the nation, right? They are. So the outpouring of the community, the reaching out, but then how we market that is Facebook. And Bob Lanham is a dear friend. I know you know Bob, and how to use Facebook to market that And then once you have raving fans, using the power of social media to get that out there so they can then tell your story on how you serve them. You know, we, about 2 years ago, I've said this before, our SVP of Biz Dev was expecting twins. So he went on Carvana and soup to nuts bought a car. And just so you know, it was not 100% online. He had multiple different chats. He had multiple different phone calls. He could not get the interest rate where he wanted it. They were, you know, a lot of people know that Garcia owns Drive as well. So, and he also is financing his own paper. So he had, you know, an 800 Beacon score. So he went and got his own money. But you know what happened when that Suburban showed up? These are things that we can learn. Okay, we put up fences and you suck, we're going to be, but what we can learn, when that Suburban showed up, they knew he was having twins. They had 2 light blue Carvana onesies. And Sean, I don't want to see you in a onesie. I don't ever want to see that. You keep that at home. But he had a package of diapers and a package of wet ones. Now you talk about an experience. You talk about now, I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and get their dealer logo on a bunch of onesies, because who knows how many people are with child in your PMA. But what I am saying is that type of experience, he then became, even though he went back, the buying process wasn't easy. In fact, it was typical of a dealership online. The only difference is you can't walk into a store. But it was the experience and that resounding, how that made him feel afterwards. And I would tell you this, the hundreds of thousands of people that are buying, if you ask them, are they buying cars online from Vroom and Carvana and others? They're going to say yes, even though we have been selling cars that way for 20 years. Hey, print the paperwork, go take it to Dr. Scott. Here's his new LS and tell him I said hello. We've been doing that 20 freaking years, right?
Tim, let me jump in on that. Tim said something really powerful just there. These people aren't selling cars. Let me speak to that. Of course they're not selling cars. They have no cars. They don't have, facilities. They don't have service departments. They don't have relationships in the community. Okay, they're selling the experience. So Cody's back. So Cody, again, I can't imagine that someone like you or an Ali Retta, for example, people that sell over 100 plus units a month. Again, in December, you sold 139.5 cars. Last month, you sold 118. I would have to say that you're selling experience as well, because again, you don't have your Cody brand. You're selling Toyotas. So what's different from you as a Toyota sales consultant than any other of the thousands of Toyota salespeople in the country? So Cody, do you believe that experience is a new brand? And if so, how?
Oh yeah, I think the experience is huge because it's going to generate a repeat business first off. But yeah, it's making it simple for the customer. They don't have to deal with that constant fight between each other. I think that's made a lot of it big for me. The customers like, okay, hey, this was so much different than the way I expected it to be. And, I'm going to tell everybody. I had a customer the other day, they kept saying, well, I want to see the numbers again, because they don't want to make sure that what I told them was legit. And at the end, they're like, hey, I'm just, you're a man of your word. And, I appreciate that. And so the experience that I provide and my Hannah provides, it earns the customers for life.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Again, let's just jump in here because there's a couple awesome marketers that are in here. I'd love to hear from Ali. Ali, are you able to jump in?
Yeah. So I'm loving this conversation. I have pivoted my marketing to just being customer centric at my dealership. And obviously when consumers see that your ads are, being customer friendly, what you offer, what makes our dealership different. But I think it's been more impactful getting testimonials from real customers and promoting that, because when anybody's shopping from Amazon, what they do is go straight to the reviews. So if I'm able to provide that in video for them from an actual real person that purchased from us, I think that's great. And one of the testimonials, one of the guys was like, I trust Chastain Ford with my mom. Like, I don't have to be with my mom to purchase a vehicle for her. So that was great.
I love it. I love it. Joe Kalitz. Joe was, a GSM before he joined Dealer Synergy as the Director of Operations. Joe, I don't know if you're able to talk right now, if you're in the middle of the field at the office, but I would love from a general sales manager's perspective, how do you feel about that? And I'll give him 30 seconds. I don't know if he's able to. If not, I'm going to go to Karen from Canada. Karen from Canada, your mic is on. D-Wop, Damien, let's go. What about you? You have something to add?
Yeah, I got to jump off, but I want to thank you, Sean, for inviting me to the room. Tim, always great to hear from you, and great comments, Jesse. I took a few notes. So thank you all. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being a part of it and adding some insight, brother. I appreciate you too. So then, Tim, I'm going to put it back to you. So you had me at hello, all right? So if you had me at hello, that experience is the new brand. I want to out-experience the competition. You know what? Actually, let me just add one little piece to it because I already know that you have a lot of faith. And one of my favorite stories to kind of share is about Truett Cathy. I'm sure have you studied anything about Truett Cathy, Tim?
I don't.
Okay.
Yes.
So from Chick-fil-A, the founder of Chick-fil-A? Yeah. Okay, so one of the things that he'd said that I thought...
I have his cell phone, Sean.
Well, he's in heaven right now, so I'm not sure if he's...
Oh, no, excuse me. Dan Cathy.
Okay, so you have Dan. I was going to say, because Truett ain't answering his phone right now. Okay, so...
He ain't answering his phone. He's answering his spiritual phone.
Yes, sir. But one of the things that I learned from him, and it goes to what you're saying, is instead of worrying about getting bigger and more and selling more cars and opening more rooftops, if we focus on getting better at everything that we're doing, whether it's the engagement process, it's the follow-up process, it's the communications that we have, our emails, it's the sales process, the delivery process, the after-sale process. I mean, like, if we just get better at what we do, Truett Cathy says that our audience will demand that we get bigger. So again, I love shifting the paradigm towards just focusing, like what you're saying, on experience and just getting better at providing the most incredible experience. You got to remember, folks, in the automotive industry, this is the second largest item that the average American will ever buy. And for some Americans, this is the most expensive item they will ever buy in their lives. And just because we sell cars every day doesn't mean that people buy cars every day. Sometimes people don't buy cars, but every 3, 5, 7. Sometimes people don't buy cars, but every decade or so. And so to treat it like it's White Castle doesn't make sense. You should really strive from the second of the opportunity's engagement to the delivery of the automobile to just blow their minds. Tim, back to you. What can you add on to that? Because I believe that you're speaking to everybody's heart on this one.
It goes back, can I just boil all the water out of the pot? It goes back to leadership. One of the things, and we talked about it in Modern Day Car Sales this morning, which we moderate with James and Bruce from 6:45 to roughly 9. And we talked about Dan Cathy, and I had the privilege to talk to him as we partnered together and tried to, we had an outreach once a month. Anyway, long story short. And I asked him, as we were building Car Now, and I asked him and I asked some C-level executives at QT, something familiar with QT might be a Wawa up north, just these gas stations that provide this amazing experience. I've never had a bad experience. And the one thing that Dan Cathy said is when they're hiring that 16-year-old out of high school, there is a clear path for them on their direction. If in fact they want to make Chick-fil-A a career, there is, if you do X, Y, and Z, and there is you see a lot of these, the power of positivity. You see a lot of these pucks around a lot of people that have given a pledge to always be positive and to pour into people's life. And I would argue that the biggest key to all of this, unfortunately, sometimes people are good salespeople and then they get promoted and they get the manager title and they start to manage, and the management becomes a dictatorship. Ego sets in and they start, yelling and throwing papers and nothing gets done that way. Anybody can have a manager, but it takes a leader to lead. John Maxwell said, if you think you're a leader and you turn behind you and no one's following you, you may need to rethink your position. So it's time for leaders to be leaders. Another comment that I love to say is a leader is also not measured on what they do. I'm not measured on what I do. You're not measured, but what people do because of us. I want you to think that, but we should be measured, but what people do because of us. If you are constantly encouraging, if you're even when things are bad, taking a side, not berating in front of, not throwing pain, when you're loving on your people and encouraging them on a daily basis, there still has to be, I'm not talking about singing Kumbaya. Don't take it out of context. You still have to hit your numbers. I still tell every person that's ever interviewed at CarNow, something a general manager told me 25 years ago. Listen, if you do a good job, you'll never have to look for another job. We'll love you. We'll encourage you. You don't do a good job, we'll take care of you. So we'll always take care of you, or we'll take care of you. It's just that simple. But understanding, not this, but encouraging them, talking to, and when you build that type of quote unquote, everybody uses the word culture, let's say environment in your store where your salespeople, where your BDRs and BDCs and receptionists know that you care, you create such an environment that it allows them to serve the people that are coming into that store. So I would argue that any organization, just like any dealership, it starts with leadership. It starts with saying, guys, this is where we're going to go. You're either lead, follow, or find something else to do, because we're going to love on our people. We're going to serve you. And you're not going to have any question of where you can, what you can make and what you can do in our dealership, because we're going to provide that for you.
Man, you are killing it, Tim. So again, I want to just reset the room. This is Sean V. Bradley, President of Dealer Synergy and creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Network on Facebook, on podcasts, and in Clubhouse. We have a club, the Millionaire Car Salesman Club, and you've been rocking with one of my friends and one of the industry elite subject matter experts, the co-founder of CarNow, with 4,500 unique rooftops on the program and counting. And the subject is experience is the new brand. Don't try to outsell the competition, out-experience the competition. So my question is, does anybody have any questions for Tim Cox or myself about this, or is there anything that you'd like to add about the whole concept about experience as the new brand?
I do.
Yes, jump in, April. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I work at a smaller dealership, and I feel like we're doing all the right things in terms of experience. We have a lot of partnerships with local charities, and we display those all over the dealership. We do the basic things like get people coffee and talk about how we're a local business and how we're going to make things great for them because we have in-house service and all of these things. I feel like we're doing all the right things and giving them an amazing experience. However, they're still saying, oh, I'm going to go to this other city and check out this car. Like, obviously, we're not doing something right, and obviously, we're not closing the deal. So what else can be done to wow them?
You want to take that first, and I'll go in?
Sure. So we had, and I won't mention the name, I was just talking about, because sometimes, the power of Clubhouse, the power of Facebook, people run to their dealership website, and then I get phone calls because they get leads from 3,000, 2,000 miles away. So the great thing about COVID, and I say that loosely, I apologize, I'm not here to offend, but we've learned a lot as an industry because we were forced to. We had meetings, and I think Melissa's still in the audience, who has been with us almost since the beginning. But we had meetings, and we said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, CarNow family, we're not selling software anymore. We're selling hope. And we kept dealers open, and we tried to figure all this out. I said all that to say this. There's a lot of things that we figured out on this whole experience thing that we were forced to because salespeople couldn't take ups. Dealerships weren't allowed to do anything in New York. So what I'm about to tell you is just come from one of those dealers. In fact, one of these dealers most of their dealer groups are in very rural parts of the country, or rural parts of this state. I'm talking about, less than 10,000 in a particular city. So let's establish that. What they did, and are you a single point store? Let me ask you that first.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Don't be the last one with your hand up at the auction. VinQ Vehicle Buying Center gives dealers the digital and in-store tools you need to buy direct from the public. On average, inventory bought from the public grosses $1,200 higher on the front end alone. VinQ turns buying cars direct from the public into a business. The most profitable dealerships in the country are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in additional front end gross. Private party acquisition starts with VinQ. See it at VinQ.com VinQ.com.
April,
are you?
We're just like family-owned business.
Yes, at Single Point store. What franchise?
There's no franchise. It's just,
Independent. Used cars? Okay, used cars.
It's all pre-owned.
Okay.
Well, again, it's going to take a little bit. You know, you can organically, obviously, no advertisement is better than word of mouth. But if you really want to be all in, you could do. I'm going to give you the playbook of what they did. They put together a very simple 30-second commercial spot, and depending on your projected market area, you know, it could be pretty expensive. It could be very, very cheap in the time of the day. But they said, and I'm not going to say their logo, but they're, let's just say, because this is an express lane. It was so-and-so express lane, okay? They put together a 30-second spot on how easy it was to do business. Very similar to what Carvana's doing. Very similar to what Vroom's doing. So they would even go, an OTT, if a lot of people don't know, is over-the-top advertising, meaning that you can pinpoint and rifle shot customers that are in your projected market area. And a lot of these were ran right after Vroom commercials, right after so on and so forth. So they started there, and they started with the same logo, okay? And I'm not going to tell you, they had 20-plus dealerships. They did not have 100% buy-in at those 20-plus dealerships, okay? But they trained the customer that customers were coming there, okay? They started with the OTT. They made sure that the website matched. And then when the customer went in the dealership, the same logo was there to where people were asking, even if they hadn't been online and they just drove by, what is this? So they started that. But here's the key. They followed it up with the experience inside the store. Now, I'm not selling technology, and maybe you don't have any technology on your website. That's still fine, but you can still walk it all the way through. And then when they got in the store, they would say, you know, and obviously going through an online tool, okay, you're looking at this vehicle. This is your trade. We soft pulled your credit, and, you know, it's saying your payments are here. Is that correct? And then selling the experience. Hey, listen, not a problem. We are going to, if you've already done the deal, we are going to getting ready to go into the business office, do the paperwork here. I really need to understand a little bit more about your store to understand the process, but there's things you can do, setting expectations, making sure the process is done, expediting the trade process, getting the trade appraised before it gets into the store. You know, a lot of people said, well, I can't do that because I need to smell it. I promise you, as long as the service history and the Carfax is correct, and sometimes they aren't, let's just be honest, but most good car guys and gals on this call right now can nail a car within a few $100 based on MMR and everything that we've got. Get the car appraised. Get a lot of this done before time. That way their time in the dealership should be less than 90 minutes. Some of them are down less than 60 minutes. And then while they're there, you create that experience with setting the expectation. The old, you know, three hours in the business office, throwing the keys on the roof, you know, hitting, you know, I had a best, I was shopping for a Jeep. I drove by the dealership, not one of our clients, drove by the dealership, $39,999, like 40 grand, whatever it was on the Jeep. So I swung by, I pulled up MMR on my phone. I said, guys, listen, I'm going to a meeting now. I didn't tell them what I did. I showed them, I said, just get me anywhere close to MMR. Just give me anywhere close. Long story short, I brought my wife back. You know where they penciled me, Sean? I'm not making this up. They had wheels and tires. They had wheels and tires on that Jeep. They priced me $5 grand higher. They priced me at $44,999 as an addendum. And then they hit my trade $5 grand light, 10 grand swing. I laughed and I just walked away. But that's what I mean about, you know, the old school. We can sell more. I know Danny, who I've become a raving fan, who is a independent only dealer, has created, raving fans in his community about everything that he's done. It's all in the way, it's all in the delivery on how you consume, how you reach out to your customers, how you love on your customers, how you set expectations. Because people don't mind buying cars. They don't want the 4 hours back and forth that they typically get inside of a dealership.
Does that help you, April?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't even think about advertising and starting sort of like reverse engineering it. I'm still wondering though, like, are there any other tips that can set us out while they're in the dealership still looking?
Yes. Here's what I would say. Again, when I engage with the store or a group, like again, I have a lot of multi-billion-dollar dealer groups as well. And the first thing that I do is I ask them, what is your value package proposition? So here's what I'm going to say is there in a dealer synergy, I'm going to repeat there are 7 main areas that are hyper important to people. Price, availability, convenience. I hate car salesmen. Another way of saying that nicer is I'm looking for a different way to do business. Research, trading, credit. Again, it's price, availability, convenience. I hate car salesmen, research, trade, and credit. And then now safety because of COVID, meaning, again, is it safe for me to come there? Is it safe for you to deliver the vehicle to us? So here's what I'm going to say is this. This is the exercise. Most people are not going to do what I'm going to say. Just like why don't people lift weights? Because they're heavy. What I'm about to tell you is not easy. But if I was a small independent dealership, this is the exact shit that I would do. Step 1, have an executive meeting with your dealer principal or GM or the decision makers, and then reverse engineer the question. Ask yourself, okay, and your executive team, why should price shoppers buy from us? Reason. Why should convenience shoppers buy from us? Reason. Why should, and so on down the road, why should credit challenge people buy from us? Why should people that don't know what they want to research buy from us? Now stop there. These reasons are only 50% of it. Tim, check this out. The other part is the demographics and situations. Let me explain. Then you got to ask yourself, why should females buy from us? Females have, OEMs say, about 83% buying power. They influence almost 60% of all truck sales. Why should females buy from us? Reason. Why should minorities buy from us? Reason. Why should military, law enforcement, and first responders buy from us? Reason. Why should college grads buy from us? Why should parents buy from us? Why should pet owners buy from us? Why should the LGBT community buy from us, and so on. I am not exaggerating. Let me explain to you. Nissan manufactured purposely, I don't know how many years ago this was, they did a project for the Xteras where the Xteras had this limited edition for pet owners with the cage, a dog vacuum, and all that stuff. Why? Because they were trying to create that experience. They're trying to create that unique value package proposition to pet owners. I'll give you another example is that General Motors, for example, they have, and I think it might change, but for a long time they were given $500 from the OEM for any General Motors store if you were military and law enforcement. I have a dealer group, a very powerful dealer group in Chicago. I'm sure Tim knows the Castle Automotive Group, a bunch of GMC franchises, Chevy, Buick, GMC, the whole kit and caboodle. What they did, so the GM's value package was a $500, first responder, military, law enforcement, rebate. But Castle Automotive, they paid the first car payment up to $400 if you were a law enforcement, military, and first responder. So my point being is that as you see this, I'll give you a personal example. And again, if you guys go to the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group, I will post this when we get off, like right on this thread with Tim Cox that we have right here that's live streaming. As soon as I'm done talking, I did this for my daughter. 4 years ago, it was my daughter's 16th birthday. She had a Sweet 16, and it was her first car, and it was her birthday is December 23rd, so it was 2 days before Christmas. It wasn't one of my clients because it was just a local VW dealership. I bought my daughter a Bug convertible, but I didn't just do that. What I did is I spent less than $190 on Amazon, and I got, like, Tim, when you see the video, it's mind-blowing. Like, I had, all the stickers, the flower stickers on the Beetle convertible. I got the sash that said Sweet 16. I got a bunch of balloons. Some were Sweet 16. I had custom balloons made, were very cheap. Congratulations on your first car. I had a custom keychain for Sweet 16 with a little, thing that should be kind of cool with. And we had a birthday cake. It was like you won the publisher's clearinghouse. It wasn't just a freaking magnetic bow on the hood. I mean, the entire thing was decked out. It was like I went all out. But why? Because I wanted my daughter to experience her first car and just be blown away. I wanted my daughter to have something really special for her Sweet 16. I mean, shit, you could go to Red Lobster, and Red Lobster is not fine dining. I don't want to offend anybody, but it's not. And if they know it's your birthday, they're going to come out and sing happy birthday or whatever variation. They're trying to create a little experience. We need to do something special if it's a birthday, anniversary, graduation. But wait, Why does it have to be, a birthday, anniversary, graduation? This is something that's such a colossal purchase and that they don't do very often. Every time they purchase a car, it needs to be a freaking, awesome experience. So, Tim, what do you think about that? Your thoughts?
I think it's spot on. I mean, I think the budgets might not allow to do that on every car deal, but I do believe that whatever your it is, own it. April, I would encourage you, there are some things that you can do to create your own experience. 10 years ago, I had, his name's Frank Mullen. I think he works, anyway, with Dealer Rater. He really worked on his reviews and he worked on his experience. And me as a manager of that dealership, people would literally come in, never meet Frank ever, but ask for him. Why? Because they saw the experience that he gave based on his Dealer Rater score. I would encourage you, April, that and we talked about Chick-fil-A before, and everybody on this call and everybody on this Facebook Live will be able to finish my sentence. Welcome to Chick-fil-A. How may I what?
Serve you.
How may I serve you? It's my
pleasure.
Do I have your permission to? So I call them when we talk to BDCs, when we talk to dealer principals, we rip that old verbiage out. People, you can think it's cheesy all you want. I don't care. It works. Hey, listen, Mr. Smith, in April, I would start with that. Start on your Facebook page. Go Facebook Live. Create raving fans if they let you when you sell a vehicle. But it starts with that first contact. You hear me now?
Yeah, no, but it's like,
dang it. It starts with that first contact. And hey, listen, this is April. How can I serve you? Do I have your permission to send you this video? It's those types of word tracks, making them your own. It immediately sets the tone with the customer that there's something different about April. And there may be something different about this experience because it's not, hey, welcome to ABC Toyota. What's your name? What's your number? What time can you come in?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Tim, because as a trainer, one of the things I love still that I learned 20 plus years ago, it's a great day here at ABC Motors. It's not cheesy. I mean, like to start right there, hey, it's a great day here at ABC Motors. I mean, like it's exciting. Sales is transference of energy. If you are not excited about it, passionate about it, why and how do you expect your prospect or client to? The other thing I want to add, and then I want to transition to, to ask another question because we need to wind down because Tim's extremely busy. And I got some calls on my plate too, but I want to say this, okay, is that, and this is what's really, really important, I think, to remember, and you can't be Frankenstein at your dealership. And what I mean by can't be Frankenstein is that you can't have a mission, vision, and values from the dealer principal or the GM, and then it's fragmented through your collateral. And so too many times dealers are not good, April, and especially smaller dealerships are not good at fusing the synergy. What I mean by this is that let's start with what is your value package? It's a rhetorical question. What is your value package proposition? What is your differentiator? What is your mission, vision, and values? Once you clearly identify something that is freaking awesome, then what needs to happen is it needs to be scaled everywhere on your website, in social media, on your voicemail messages, in your email templates. Everywhere you go, you need to be able to know that it's the same feel. I mean, everywhere. I've been to multiple countries, Russia, Italy, all over the United States, and wherever I go and I order a caramel macchiato, literally in Moscow, in Rome, or anywhere in the United States, guess what? It tastes the same. You know why? Because it is, it's got the ingredients there. It's not just the logo, the Starbucks logo. It tastes like a caramel macchiato. So if you've got a value package proposition or an experience, they need to experience that not only when they're talking to somebody or they speak to the owner, but wherever they're at. And so every partner that you have, and one thing I really like about CarNow, a lot of respect, is that they need to perpetuate whatever the brand and vision is of the dealer or the GM. That's what all vendors should do. All vendors should seek first to understand what is a dealership or dealer group's mission, vision, and values. And it is our freaking responsibility as a vendor partner to make sure that we both personify that vision and we perpetuate that vision. And that's what all the employees in the organization need to do, is understand what the vision is and then again, personify in every medium possible. Tim, would you agree with that? I can't hear you at all. Your mic's missing.
Yeah, I took it off. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's you're good.
So I, April, if you'd like to take this offline, I'll be happy to. Look, we've gotten to where we are by not being the smartest people in the room, but if I can help you or help your dealer principal, then I'll be more than happy to take you through some best practices, show you some websites, show you some independent websites, not franchise dealers that are creating that type of experience. And hopefully in your own PMA, allow you to create your own experience to where you can sell more cars and make more money, which is all what we're trying to do. And create raving fans about doing business with April.
April, how's that?
Holy, oh my gosh, you guys, I have a crazy amount of notes. I cannot wait to take that to my boss. I'm going to look so freaking smart. Thank you guys so much, and definitely I'll reach out to you. Thank you again.
Hey, April, you were in the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just to let you know, after this, this entire conversation has been live streaming in there, and it'll be saved in there. So this whole entire conversation, you could rewind to all these little nuggets too, and you could even show your dealer and whomever else on your team this message here. And you just got an incredible offer from the co-founder of Car Now to be able to try to help you. And Tim, I wanted to just thank you, on behalf of the Millionaire Car Salesman, group and club and everybody. That's a really big, as we know you're busy as hell. And again, that's very kind of you, sir. All right, let's keep it moving. We got time for one more question for Mr. Tim Cox, or if you want to contribute one more piece of a nugget to the experience is the new brand. All right. Let's see. Jesse, again, I want to go back to you because you're a dealer principal. So Jesse Yarman from Yarman Ford, again, you have an opportunity right now with my man Tim here, to ask any questions. Do you have any questions for him at all? Because I have a question for you if you don't. You there, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm here. No, at the moment I don't. To be honest with you, I'm sitting here looking at their website.
There you go. Well, I was going to say, do you do digital retailing right now, Jesse?
We do. As when we made the switch, going with dealer synergy and everything, we really started focusing on that. Trying to focus on the digital retailing.
What product do you use?
So right now we're using just Ford Direct's own platform. So, but I was looking at this car now. Actually, I'm talking to a Lindsay from there. So, and I wanted to see kind of what different stuff they offer, I guess. So,
Tim, what's because here's the thing that I want to just be clear. Car Now is so much more than just digital retailing. But to just ask the direct question, Tim, what's the difference from Ford? I mean, that's again, it's like apples and golf balls. But can you explain the value prop of Car Now versus the Ford Direct tool?
I will, because you asked, and I never want to quote unquote pitch, but you asked. Car Now was created inside my dealership. And a lot of things in theory sound good, but when you get them in the wild, how do they react? And I'm going to just make a statement that's a true statement that every car guy or gal is going to know. No car, one more time, no car is ever sold without a conversation, ever. Let me give you some numbers. We looked at 292,917. I know that because I've given that in presentations for the last year. This is pre-COVID. Now it's over 600,000. Well over. Anyway, we looked at it. And meaning someone clicking that calculator. And just so you know, Jesse, calculators don't sell cars, conversations do. Calculators don't create brand awareness and create raving fans, conversations do. So we built a chat company first, and with a very strong foundation of chat and then and texting. And then as we built DR, obviously it was undergirded with communication. So let me give you, again, facts that eliminate feelings. Take the feelings out of it. That's what facts do. Almost 300,000 conversations. The customers that came in and clicked, be happy to send you the data set, and started my deal, buy now, whatever, went all the way through and finished, not close rate, but finish rate, 5.04%. My friend admitted at Roadster and AutoFight, all the same. When you have one conversation, here's the killer. When you have at least one conversation, that finish rate goes from 5% to 12.74%. You nearly triple it. So we think our company was not built out of Silicon Valley. Our company wasn't built out of people that have never penciled or desked a deal in their life. They were built on the sweat and blood of car guys and girls across our country that's on our advisory board, and what really happens in the wild when you mix technology with selling a stinking automobile. That's the difference.
Yeah, Jesse, you need to definitely, I'm telling you, you know me, like I'm very, very selective of who I put my circle because my brand is extremely important to me. And I definitely co-sign Mr. Tim Cox. I don't even need to. I mean, like you just heard him for the last hour dropping ridiculous nugget after nugget. And you see how kind he is, basically, you know, helping April at a small independent dealership. You don't have to do that. He did that because it's in his heart. He's a good person. So not only do you have a good company led by good people that have an incredible product. So again, I'm glad that you guys are going to connect. And I just think it's awesome that, you know, he's sitting in a clubhouse having a conversation with one of your people. I love it. All right, guys, listen.
So grateful. Thank you guys so much.
April, look, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody on here. Karen from Canada. And just so you know, I'm not profiling in a bad way. These are people from my morning motivations that we do every morning on Clubhouse. And so we have nicknames. And so Karen from Canada is one of our moderators. She's super awesome. Karina, my wife, Cody Carter, you know, April, Stephanie, and then Kevin Curtis. Kevin, you've missed this. Kevin is from McGrath Auto Group. Are you working with McGrath Auto Group right now, Tim?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you are with McGrath, right?
We do have a couple stores.
Yeah. So, Kevin, are you working with Car Now right now in your stores?
No, we're just set up with a dealer e-process right now.
All right. So
Jeremy and I have been talking about options. Goo came up, and we haven't really got the down low on Car Now yet, other than what I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah, you definitely got to check out Car Now, buddy. I mean, like McGrath is an amazing organization. They need to upgrade to first class. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in.
All right, let me let you guys go do your thing. I got to jump. And for everybody that's on Facebook, there's a bunch of questions here. Tim, if you can, you know, what you should do is probably just hit the Facebook feed and just kind of respond to the people that left some comments or questions there. Okay, everybody. Sure. And listen, I'm doing a 7 p.m. I'm doing a video search engine optimization special Clubhouse room tonight at 7 p.m. It's going to be about video and optimization. I'll see you there. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by Dealer E-Process, VinQ, and AutoWeb. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. You know, let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.